Welcome everyone. Today we have gathered here to discuss and demystify digital customer experience, which has been such a buzzword. To discuss on this very interesting topic, we have Prashant Achanta today. He is the Chief Technology Officer with FirstSource. Thank you, Prashant, for joining us today.
Happy to be here. Thank you.
So why are we discussing customer experience, digital customer experience? Why is that so important?
So Sukanya, we have two fundamental shifts that are happening in the industry. Product innovation has accelerated, and there is a foundational shift in customer behavior. Let me elaborate on customer behavior. There has been a significant influx of Gen Z into the customer base. What does that mean? Characteristics are different. Gen Z expects instant gratification. They have a significant affinity to devices. Personalization is key to them. And from a culture standpoint, they are fairly different. They have more empathy. They care about the environment. They feel very strongly about some aspects like diversity. Now, in addition to the Gen Z, the millennials and the other customer segments have also changed. Digital adoption has gone up significantly, and you can call it the post-pandemic normal.
True.
Their tolerance for subpar digital performance, right, has also reduced. So they want best in class everywhere, right?
And right now.
And right now. As we see industries getting disrupted, the customer is at the center of the operating model. So for companies, this presents a huge opportunity. If you get this right, you can get to market leadership. If you get this wrong, you run the risk of being outmaneuvered by competitors and becoming not relevant anymore. So CX is a key opportunity area and also a high risk, and every firm needs to take it very seriously.
So right now you're saying is definitely a competitive advantage, but it's moving towards a do or die situation very soon.
Absolutely.
Great. So that's essentially the reason why we are so obsessed about this concept, and where everybody's focusing on it. So now we understand the importance, but tell us actually on the ground, right? How is customer experience or digital customer experience different from customer service? What we have experienced till now, how is this going to be different?
That's a great question, Sukanya. So traditionally, customer service years ago correlates to transactions, right? Addressing customer queries. Right now, customer service is also strategic. Right? Customer service is about delivering omni-channel servicing to the customer. You are still addressing transactions,
totally,
but it is strategic. It is also about getting it right, because customers have expectations regarding when they need to be served, how they need to be served, and where they need to be served. And the where has shifted from the branch or the physical site to the contact center to various digital channels,
right,
including virtual agents and visual IVRs, messaging, etc. From there, the shift that we are seeing right now is to look at customer experience. And customer experience is about delivering in moments that matter. It's about consistent experience across the channels. Nobody is going to cut us any slack for getting a transaction wrong, right, if you get 10 transactions right. So it's about ensuring customer lifetime value, driving towards loyalty, and also delivering to the brand, right? So companies realize that if you don't really define what the brand means from a CX standpoint, the customers will define it for you. So it's important to define the brand, align it with the offerings, and ensure the CX experience delivers to the brand.
Very interesting, Prashant. Can you give us some examples of on the ground, how are you working with different enterprises to help this shift happen?
I would like to take the example of our experience in the payments industry.
Sure.
We are truly an industry leader in the payments and collections industry. We work across industry segments, banking and financial services with fintechs, in the healthcare space with providers. We have deep understanding of the product, of the industries that we operate in, and we have a lot of data on customer interactions over the years. Based on that, we have actually designed our customer journey maps and our interaction models. And to quote a few examples, we used to get a lot of calls to our contact center on upcoming payments, as an example, right? And several such call drivers.
I'm sure.
And what we looked to do was to send the customer proactive communication, before they come to the contact center. That reduced a lot of call volume into our contact centers, which also means the customers are getting the information they need without coming to us.
Right.
But the real jump came in when we applied advanced analytics to determine the frequency of that communication, right? The when of that communication, and which channel to deploy. On similar lines, financial aid information was also a key call driver.
Okay.
This we were able to shift to virtual agents.
Okay.
To ensure that there is an FAQ available and a lot of the calls get answered. 80% of the upcoming payment calls we could reduce.
Wow.
From a virtual agent standpoint, the call volume deflection is around 40 to 50%.
Okay.
And many more such examples. We've also innovated with visual IVRs, which appeals to a certain segment, primarily the Gen Zs.
Visual IVR. I'm trying to imagine it.
So the visual IVR is similar to the phone IVR, except that you can use it, the telephony IVR. Let me rephrase. You can use it on the phone, so that you can run through the options on the phone.
Got it.
And then there is always the option to go back to the agent at any point in time. So we're also deflecting about 30% of the payment processing through the visual IVR on the calls which come to the contact center.
Very good.
The other aspect is there are still a lot of queries which go to the contact center which require advisor interaction. These relate to terms changes, payment plan changes. What we've done is to improve the efficiency of the advisor and to ensure that the interaction is best in class. We have deployed agent assists.
Okay.
These are AI advisors to assist our human advisors. Primarily do two things, is identify from the conversation near real time the intent and display cue cards to the advisor.
Okay.
So this helps the advisor drive the conversation more effectively with the customer.
Right.
The other aspect is also look at emotion analytics. Figure out just from the conversation, the tone, right, how the conversation is going, and to ensure that a supervisor can intervene or the advisor themselves, they see how the conversation is going and they are able to course correct. So these are some of the innovations that we are driving to deliver to our CX promise.
Which means the kind of people you're employing to take those calls also changes because they have so much of support. To the training efforts, all of that, it can also evolve. That's great. Any other industry experience, any other industry examples?
Yes, and that's an excellent question. We've seen a reduction in training time. This is a relatively higher attrition industry. Our attrition numbers are lower.
So productivity can be managed much more effectively through these support.
Absolutely, absolutely. To quote some other industry examples, we work with a leading publication in the UK. We take about 10,000 calls a day. These are all retention call drivers.
Okay.
And currently, depending on the month, it's about 25 to 30% success rates. The agent assist is as it gets deployed, it has now moved from production pilot to production, and we've seen a 10% shift, from 30 to 40%, which is like pretty significant, all things considered.
Right.
And as we go through subsequent rollouts and retrain and get higher efficiencies, the numbers are supposed to, we expect them
Will
to
be
go.
expected to go up. No, it's still, I mean, 30% to 40% is still like a 1/3 kind of a jump in there. It's a great example.
For another insurance provider, I'd like to talk about the call handling time reduction. From an average handling time reduction, that has gone down from 10 minutes to 7 minutes. That's a 30% reduction. And all due to the agent assist platform that we've developed. So showing cue cards, guiding the advisors on those calls, this is proving hugely effective. In the actual interaction, plus also like you talked about, there are like a lot of downstream adjunct benefits, including training time, attrition.
Right.
So the more tenure we have of our advisors, the better experience we are able to deliver to the customers.
Yeah, and now when you say 10 minutes to 7 minutes, which means the customer is actually spending 30% less time and effort to get the information, and the center can again probably handle 30% more calls in that time. I mean, not the exact maths, but yeah.
No, you got it right. So the customer experience is better, they get the answers sooner.
Productivity is higher.
Efficiency is higher. So there's like they're able to take more calls with the same headcount.
Undoubtedly. Super examples, and it also shows about the use of technology in defining better experiences. We spoke about the demand side, we spoke about the industry side. From a skill and a role point of view, how is this different from, how has that shift happened? I'm sure internally it's not the same skills that you can deploy, the combinations have changed. So what are the roles and the skills?
I can talk from our FirstSource experience. We have significantly ramped up our consulting and business analysis skills and roles. Industry BAs are a key role that we look to. They closely work with data scientists to build out the customer journey maps, and then the same team collaborates with UX specialists depending on the particular channel device to make sure the interaction design gets done. Now it is not over the wall, it is like very agile, it's collaborative.
I'm sure.
The technology team, from a tech standpoint, we stand up development pods, which will essentially look at the roles that are part of the pod are configurators, because we look at majorly when we deploy some of these DECX, digitally empowered CX solutions, they center around the contact center and the deflection. But it's also about self-service portals, it's about virtual agents, it's about visual IVR, and of course the agent assist. So we either use custom tech, which we build in-house, or we use the building blocks that our cloud platforms offer, be it AWS or Azure or GCP. And we also closely work with commercial software providers who are specialists in this space. So we have, from a tech standpoint, as part of the pod, we have configurators, we have QA teams, and we also have AI specialists. And 50% of the work is around data, so we have data engineers.
Yeah.
So our data engineers are typically full stack data, who are able to do data management through to visualization. Our AI specialists have some level of engineering experience, but they have deep math backgrounds. Our configurators are largely full stack engineers who are also able to plug and play the various functionalities and components, largely API driven.
And the BAs are bringing the domain angle to it, I'm assuming.
That is very true. They bring in the domain angle, but they also have some level of familiarity with data science, so that they're
they need to tie it together, right?
But you're right. I mean, there's a lot of cross skilling
that is happening.
That is very essential. Yeah.
Right, because I think there is it can't work in silos. You'll have to have 2-3 skills that you need to kind of bring it together to build this out.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true.
Great conversation, Prashant, and I think this is such an important topic. The more we discuss, the more layers we get. The examples were fabulous, so that's very helpful, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye now.